The 2023 general election is upon us, and we seem to have a replay of what happened in 2015 when in November 2013 some 5 PDP governors decamped to the APC, and that may have played a prominent role for the APC's victory. The first time an opposition party will be winning the presidential election since 1999. Now, our attention this morning is turned to the decision that will be made in London by the G5 governors, the 5 aggrieved PDP governors, as to who they are supporting come 2023. One would have thought that the governors will keep mum on their presidential support, but you heard the Rivers State governor saying that he will not only declare his preferred candidate, but he will also go from state to state to campaign for such individual. Emmanuel Macham is a PDP chieftain who's joined us this morning from Plateau State. Thank you for joining us on the program. It would seem that the curtain has now drawn on a possible reconciliation between the G5 and the Atiku camp. What are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, good morning, and I'm happy to join you in this great conversation that Nigerian are waiting up to. I think the truth about the scenario happened, G5 governors have constituted themselves into an institution within the party. That is the truth. And the truth is that the reconciliation seems to have reached a stage that I don't see any headway on the reconciliation as far as I'm concerned, because the G5 governors' demands are just too heavy for the party, I think, to concede to it. And the G5 governor has a lot of demands, which include the resignation of the national chairman of the party, Senator Ayocho Ayu, which to our own mind, once Ayocho Ayu step aside, it means the G5 governors are calling for a mini convention, because there is no simple way that Ayocho Ayu will resign and the national chairman will go to the south and the national secretary will also remain in the south. So that demand is some. Hello?
I'm with you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, that demand is something that needs time, maybe after the general election, because at the moment the party, I don't think the party has the luxury of time now to think of a mini convention that the national officers of the party will be reshuffled. That, I think, to my mind, the G5 governors ought to have allowed some kind of peace within the party. Maybe after the general election, that could come up. I think in the general overview of Nigerians, the thinking about the G5 governors has to do with the ambition of the Rivers State governor, because these people are his supporters, and simply because he lost into that, their views are also respected. It's just that some of their demands are untimely. And I think some of them also has ambition, which goes exactly with the presidential election. Because when you talk of the presidential election, it has to do with the House of Reps and senators, in which some of the governors are contesting for the same senators, which the election is the same day. So if they choose to support a candidate of another party, that will be disastrous on their part, because they may be working against their party while they are also contesting in the same election. So to my mind, I think the earlier the better for them to come to the drawing board, so that other options, other demands can be looked into.
Are you saying you are still optimistic, Mr. Macham, that there is the possibility of these 5 governors, the Atiku?
I think there is still time. There is still time. As I said, some of them are also candidates within the People's Democratic Party. So how will they work for another candidate when they are contesting senatorial election in the same day with the presidential election of that party? So I think we are still within time frame that reconciliation can take place. That is to my mind.
Well, but I understand your optimism, but it's a little bit different from what we're hearing from someone like the Rivers State governor, who did mention that he's going to declare his presidential favorite come January, and it's not going to be Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. But let's talk about the political weight of these 5 governors, and if things do not go the way you are postulating, what it means for your party, the PDP. No president has won elections in Nigeria since 1999 without overwhelming support of state governors. The defection of the 5 governors from the PDP to the APC, some say may have played a pivotal role in determining APC's victory in 2015. Well, this time the G5 are not moving from the incumbent party. It's the other way around. They are now moving away from the opposition party this time. Do you agree that the PDP is in some big trouble here?
Yeah, the truth, as I said, the truth is that the PDP has the challenge of these G5 governors. That's just the truth. And to my mind, I think the Rivers State governor, who seems to be the chairman of that group, has a lot of control within the party. I think since 2015, he has been in charge of the party. He has installed a lot of ESCO in several states of including my state, Plateau State. So the truth is that they hold some weight, but I doubt if the agitation in the country will swing to their way as in 2015. Because in 2015, when Bukola Saraki and others pulled out of PDP, actually there was a serious dissatisfaction within the PDP as at then about the candidature of Goodluck Jonathan. But the scenario now is different. Nigeria has stated another party. We have tested APC and saw what is inside. So Nigerians may not want to at least toy with the future of its citizens because of some few people. Let me assume 5 governors, even with the powers they possess. But they don't think they have the capacity to pull down the agitations of Nigerians, because a change of government is imminent. And the agitations, if it is outside what Nigerians are demanding for, I think it may not go the same way as it went in 2015. As I said, on the weight of each of the governors, Wilson Wike is a governor of a state that everybody knows the history in this country. And he commands a lot of respect because of the history of Rivers State in the politics of this country. So, and I think he has taken his luck too far. The statement he made about declaring which president they will support in January, to my mind, is just a threat. Because who will they support? Except supporting Bola Tinubu or Peter Obi. The Peter Obi I know doesn't have the spread required to pull down, to pull votes that will make him the president of this country. So I think our leaders will continue to dialogue with them so that we will not rock the boat. But the truth, they have to come back to the round table. Rivers State is PDP. And no matter the intimidation in Rivers State remains PDP, and Atiku is going to win Rivers State. So it's better for Wilson Wike and his group to join the movement so that whatsoever they are bringing to the table as a demand can be looked into after the general election, as I said, when we have resumed office. Thank you.
While reacting to PDP winning the Just North and Bassa Rep by-election in March, you attributed your party's success to the reconciliatory efforts by Senator Ayu. And I am quoting you now, Mr. Macham. You said, clearly we won because the 2 warring camps came to the negotiating table and were charged to deliver, irrespective of whatsoever differences. I mean, Senator Ayu did it then. One will wonder why he has refused to do it now by stepping aside. Your party's candidate is also called the unifier. Many are saying, I mean, this is like the litmus test to see how he intends to unify. Not only do that if he can unify, the division within his own party.
Yeah, I think the division the party has Atiku Abubakar. The truth is, even in Plateau, as you rightly mentioned, there is a sharp division within the party. But the national chairman then, because of that election, tried his best to make sure we come together for the purpose of that election. And the 2 groups in Plateau State come together for the first time to put their differences aside and support the candidate of that party. But I assure you that at a larger for the division within the party, as I said, and some of the mechanism of the party that were put in place to reconcile some of these grievances are not directly attached to his presidential ticket. But as I said, he has been playing his role. Here in Plateau State, when he launched his presidential campaign in Plateau State, he came to Jos and slept in Jos. There were dialogues. He sat down with Jeremiah Husseini, he sat down with DT Sambo, former governor of Fidelis Tabgun, and several other leaders of the party to see if we can come together and work, despite the fact that the former governor of the state is with the Wike camp. And I think he has been trying his best to make sure there are reconciliation in several states where he can come inside. But where it is difficult, it has to do with the constitution of the party. Because what the G5 governors are demanding for, it is a change in the constitution of the party, which means by saying IU, by singling out IU to concede his position, I think they are calling, as I said, they are calling for a reshufflement, because one region cannot have the national chairman while having the national secretary. So I think,
Mr. Macham, are you saying that your party's constitution doesn't allow Senator Ayu to resign his position?
Senator Ayu can resign. Yes, he can resign. But Senator Ayu cannot resign, and another national chairman will be brought in from the south. Meanwhile, other positions, National Working Committee positions, are still in the south. It means it has to be reshuffled in such a way that it will accommodate each of the zone in the National Working Committee. So even if Ayu resigns today, of course, if somebody comes from the south to occupy.
Oh, we have issues with that line. Just hold it, Mr. Macham. Let's take a call from Arochukwu. Good morning, Mazi Okorafo.
Compliment on this. You see, removing the ladder is not the option. You see, we have come to politics in Nigeria that what do like they shift goalposts. Why must you shift the goalposts? What the G5 are talking about? Purely equity, fairness, and what? That is a balanced equation. What was the agreement before they conducted this election? So, the G5 were waiting for January to see the miracle that happened. But what we have to very careful is that the way Nigeria politics is going, we get the G5, no political party, as far as that G5 is concerned, don't neglect any state. Each state is paramount important. Each state has something to offer. If you feel that without the 5 states, you can go into production, what does it take the PDP chairman to step aside? What does it take? You see, that is why we are talking about politics in Nigeria based on 2 things: power and money. It's because of the power that is related between the incumbent chairman of PDP. That is what is keeping him. What does it take? You're a doctor, you're a professor. Can't you step aside? You can't step aside and let the politics move. Because if you are sitting down there, that means you have not done the right thing. Why must you allow the 5 minutes, 2 minutes to go? You allow the management of that incident. It doesn't make sense. So keep us.
All right. Mr. Korafo from Abia said, thank you so much for your contribution. Mr. Macham, I understand that your position is there is no other way for these 5 governors than to return to support Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. But let us assume that that did not happen. Which of the candidates do you think they're going to put their weight behind come January?
Yeah, from their activities at the grassroots, we have discovered the G5 governors are divided. Some of them in their states are supporting Bola Tinubu. Some of them are supporting Peter Obi. Like some of the followers of governors here in Plateau State, we have seen their footprint supporting Labour Party in Plateau State. So as I said to you, they are divided, actually. They are already divided. So I don't see them achieving something at the end of whatsoever they are doing. For Rivers State Governor, I think all the candidates in Rivers State, he single-handedly picked the candidate of the PDP. So if he is sacrificing them for any other party, I don't know whether he may also sacrifice some of these candidates he single-handedly pick and give them the ticket of the party. And like our brother here, the governor of Benue State, I think his own is the surprising issue on this topic, because he's aspiring to be a senator in that state. Apart from the fact that he is part of those. All the G5 governors are part of those that brought IU. So at this point, I join other Nigerians to plead with the G5 governors so that they can, whatsoever is the grievances, they can put it down. After the general election, all these things can be sorted out. I think Wike himself single-handedly removed Uche Secondus from office. And that made us go into the national convention that brought in IU. He brought in IU. If at this point he is not satisfied with IU, I think he knows that 2 months to general election, it can never be healthy to remove a sitting national chairman.
All right.
But, as I said, there is a general agitation on ground. Nigerians no more trust the G5 governors because when you say you are giving them the national chairman,
let's quickly hear from Sunday, who has called in from Akwa Ibom, Mr. Macham. Good morning, Sunday.
Yes. Good morning.
Please go ahead with your contribution.
I want to speak direct to G5 governor administration.
All right, go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead, you have just 1 minute.
Will not support Atiku Abubakar. Mr. Nweke will not support Atiku Abubakar, even though IU go down tomorrow. Nweke will not support Atiku Abubakar. The reason is very simple. Because of the statement made by Atiku when the primary was built up, Atiku said to PDP, if they want to win the election, they should give them the ticket. If they want to fail, then they should take it to any other person. So Nweke wanted to prove to Atiku Abubakar. Nweke wanted to prove to Atiku Abubakar. Without him, even with him, PDP can still fail election. But I want to say this very openly. No matter what Nweke will do, PDP will come up victorious at the end of the day. I don't have much to say. We will take the shame at the end of the day. That's all I can say, Mr. Dam.
Thank you for your contribution, Sunday from Akwa Ibom. Mr. Macham, we have to go now. We just have a few seconds. What are your party's chances if the 5 governors pull out completely come January?
I assure you that our chances remain very solid, even if they pull out, and all the machineries on ground put on place in their various states to make sure we are not defeated has been put in place. So I think our party is moving very strong at the presidential election. So by the special grace of God, as I said, and as the caller said, we do not trust Wike again within the party because even if you give him the national chairman, Wike will still work against the PDP. So there is no point giving him that chance to even destroy the party. So, but in Rivers State, we have our colleagues and friends who are working day and night to make sure our party is not affected by the dominance in Rivers State for several years. So we have a very strong solid ground for the party, and the party is working together. So by the special grace of God, we will never be affected by their decision.
That's our time. Emmanuel Macham, PDP Chieftain, Plateau State. Thank you for talking to us on the program today. My name is Nifemi Ogutoye. I'll see you again tomorrow.